The family will all participate in the wish, but we want to make sure it's the child's wish. So we have 4 categories of wishes, and that's to go, to be, to meet, and to have. And so we have them think big in all 4 of those areas. What's 3 things you would want to do in each of those areas?
What's going on, Sarasota? As always, my name is Brad Hannon.
Trey Martell.
Felipe Colon.
And we've got a couple amazing guests on today. We've heard from Terry Klauber with the Make-A-Wish Foundation local chapter. Today we've got Taylor Marini and Emily Rickerson. How you guys doing?
We're great. Thanks so much for having us.
And we're not just talking about Make-A-Wish this time. We're talking about the first ever Walk for Wishes. So that's pretty exciting. I'm interested to hear all about it. I've fortunately got to hear a lot about it already, but we're going to unpack this for the audience and wanted to kind of kick it off with just the lay of the land. What is Walk for Wishes? Why have a walk? You know, what are we doing here?
Yeah, so this, like you said, first ever Walk for Wishes in Suncoast region. So we have a few regions in our southern Florida of Make-A-Wish. So they've all had several walks. So we really wanted to incorporate like a family-friendly event. We have some galas, but for Sarasota, we needed something to bring families together, to bring the Wish families together. And it's presented by Signature Medicare Solutions.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I know.
We got to get you girls some hats.
Crazy? I know.
Yeah,
we need some swag.
Yeah, we're excited about that. You know, Terry came on and talked all about the organization, and I've said it before, but the simple fact that the money raised locally remains local, and that's just an amazing thing that I didn't realize that Make-A-Wish did. But the walk seems like a very obvious thing, right? And other chapters have done it. I'm curious, kind of what your expectations are based on some other, local chapters in the nearby areas that have done it.
Also, what's the location of the walk to?
Oh, come on. Where the walks happen?
I assume that, but I want to hear from them.
The walk is taking place in Benderson Park on October 4th. And our goal, yes, we're a nonprofit, so always first and foremost fundraising to be able to grant all the wishes here in Sarasota. One thing about our chapter is any child who's referred to us, we will grant their wish. So we will knock on every door. We will do whatever we need to do to grant every wish. And so our goal is really to bring the community together. As many people as we can get to come out to hear from our wish families, hear about their wishes, walk with our wish families. So our number one goal with this event is to bring the community together. A lot of people, when they think about Make-A-Wish, they think of a national organization. And we want to let the Sarasota community know that we're here local. We have a local office and our wish kids are all local.
Yeah, and that was, like I said, one of the amazing things that we got to hear from Terry, and you just hit on the second most or equally most amazing thing, and that they've never not been able to grant a wish. Even the Pope was able to be wished by somebody. So,
but that's really significant. I mean, there aren't a lot of organizations left that are at your scale where the money does stay local. Oftentimes it has to go back up to some larger organization and then gets redistributed down, and you don't know if you're getting what you put in, right? So it's pretty cool that it stays here, what's raised here.
Yeah. I want to talk a little bit about your girls' involvement in the organization. When did it begin? Why did it begin? Tell us, what motivated you guys to get behind the cause.
Yep. Well, as I was talking earlier, I started off in sports, actually. My undergrad was sports management, and then I went back to school. My master's was family, youth, and community sciences because I was super interested in just giving back to the community.
Sure.
And I learned through sports that was even a possibility. I didn't know that existed. So I kind of slowly got into the nonprofit realm, and then I saw a Make-A-Wish job pop up, and like you were saying, I didn't know it was local. Like I thought only a Make-A-Wish has a national brand, and it was like Sarasota office is looking to hire someone. And so I was like, what? I didn't even know that existed. So I just applied, interviewed with Taylor, and was lucky enough to get involved. But yeah, I just obviously love giving back. I love the mission of the organization. So that's kind of how I got into it.
Yeah. As for me, I was a Chi Omega in college, and our philanthropy is Make-A-Wish. And I was involved from a fundraising standpoint in that capacity. And then I asked if they would take on an intern, and they let me intern for a year. I interned for a year with them and then was hired from my internship. So I've been with Make-A-Wish since I graduated from college.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, which, I mean, we don't have to give away too much
It's been
here.
quite a few years.
You're tenured now?
I am.
Listen,
I didn't want to ask directly, but
you're selling yourself short. And from what you described, you were involved with Make-A-Wish while you were in college.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So really,
technically.
you've got more years than what you're even telling us.
Yeah.
The event, how is it set up? You walk how far? Is it tracked? Is there a gold medal?
he's vetting this
Training.
to see if he can make the walk work.
If you want a medal, we'll get we have
Get you a
sponsor
medal.
though. Yeah.
So everyone will come in and gather, and we will have a Wish family tell their story. We'll hear from Signature Medicaid on their involvement with Make-A-Wish and the walk. Everyone will gather. We'll have some breakfast items, coffee, all of that. And then everyone will take off, and there will be kind of two options. One little loop and turn around for those that are walking with kids and strollers and don't want to take on the whole route. And then others can do the entire route, which is a 5K around Nathan Benderson. So
Holy
you'll kind of
Toledo.
have both options there.
Holy Toledo.
And then once everyone gathers back, we have a full family fun day. So we have food, activities for the whole family.
Live music?
Live music or DJ, maybe. We're still fleshing out all of those details. But we encourage everyone to stick around after, hang out with our Wish families, and really just enjoy a fun morning for the entire family.
I'm going to tee this one up for you, but what does it cost to hang out there as a family and enjoy all the family fun?
Yep. So registration, if you register online, and make sure you register early because you get a T-shirt.
There you go.
So, but it's $20 and then $10 for kids. And then our Wish families, obviously, they get to go for free. So they have a registration code. But yeah, $20 on the website. You can sign up. And then the timeline, just quickly, if you registered there or want to pick up your T-shirt at the event, we'll be there at 7:30. Then we'll have kind of like a program with the music starting, people talking, sharing stories around 8, and then the walk will start around 8:30.
So you sold yourself a little short, though, because the registration for the walk, yes, but the family fun day, I've been told that there's no cost for any
so
of it.
there's free food, music, activities for the kids, which will be so much fun. But yeah, no cost for that. And the cost to register is going back to fundraising. So just think of it as giving back.
Well, I mean, if it's only 25, that's basically the cost of the T-shirt,
20.
right?
20
or
Yeah.
20.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
10 for you.
You're getting
Kids are 10.
Yeah.
kids. I wish.
And we're able
sounds
to
like a deal.
have the Family Fun Day fully included in that because of the amazing partnerships that we have in Sarasota.
Yeah.
So all of the vendors that come out are coming out free of charge. Any food activities that they provide, they're solely donating. So we're able to do that because of the Sarasota community.
Do we want to give any shout outs to any vendors that have registered early?
Yeah, so Signature Medicare Solutions. We have, I'll list the sponsors first. Mariner Wealth Advisory is one of our sponsors. Chi Omega Alumni Association, GTE Financial just joined as a sponsor. And then we have Hello Gorgeous is bringing a photo booth out.
Nice.
We have Dynasty Dance Studios coming to do a performance. And it's actually really cool because one of our Wish kids goes there. Oh. So that's how I learned about it. So we're hoping she can join in on the performance.
Awesome.
Which that's a little sneak peek because it might have been a secret.
We'll bleep it out.
Is it just a walk or is it also run?
You can run, but yeah, I mean, for the
There's
most
a
part,
there's a
it's just
specific
walk.
reason I'm
it's
asking.
Not time.
Why, you a speed walker?
No, there's a
Speed walker.
If you look at these events, like if you look at some of the ones we've went to, like the Alpha Law one and
The one, autism awareness one.
there's a great running community here in Sarasota, and they show up and show out for these events, and that's a great little thing to tap into. So that would be my.
Yeah, we
when you
can
said
definitely-
walking,
Unsolicited advice is the word you're looking for.
That's my
It
unsolicited advice.
it doesn't have to be time, but maybe we have Felipe there with a timer for all those that want to know their time.
I'll break out my stopwatch. No, but seriously, like, you know, you look at all the different run clubs around here, they support nonprofits heavily. Think about the kinds of people who run. They tend to be very charitable. They tend to be very intense and very competitive.
And
right?
fit.
99
And obviously
bottles would be a good place to start.
99
with their run
bottles.
club. They've got
There's several.
They've got a good run club.
So,
We actually have a run club at Signature Medicare we're trying to grow. It's like 4 or 5 people at a time. But
do they run with 99 bottles, or they have their own run
we
club?
started to join in with them once a month on Wednesday.
Yeah, I've seen the pictures.
I've
never seen you in the picture.
Yeah, unfortunately, the one that I wanted to go to, I had to go to my kids' jiu-jitsu practice instead. So, otherwise, I was there, ready to be running. I'm like, how far?
How many miles is a 2 or a 5K?
It's like 3.2.
Yeah,
That's a lot of miles.
3.1.
That's a lot of miles.
Yeah.
It's not. It's certainly not like simple, but I can tell you, we did the turkey trot one.
Can you run a 5K?
With my kids weren't dragging me down. Yeah, I was pushing a stroller, and I was like, every time they wanted to stop, I'm like, really? I feel great, but I could probably do it. It's not going to be.
What
easy,
about you, Felipe? Can you run a 5K?
I mean, could I? Yes. Would it look pretty? Probably not. Not right now. I'm a little on the heavier side than I'd like to be for doing that kind of stuff.
So you're the shortcut route.
No, I wouldn't do that either. That's not very sporting to me.
Well, we've obviously heard a couple of the stories when we had Terry on, and we heard the most recent story of that girl that went on the cruise, which was adorable. And actually, I shared that with the company when we had made the announcement. However, I know that since you've been tenured at Make-A-Wish now, you've probably seen quite a few, and always want to hear, what's been, we don't have to say your favorite, but maybe the most impactful or the most heartwarming for you.
I think for me, this was a wish from a long time ago, because I've been with Make-A-Wish for a long time. And I think I had...
By the way, we define long time. It's like a few years. It's a long time these days.
And I think this particular wish, it wasn't the wish itself. It was that it really showed me the importance of what we're doing, that a wish is not just a nice thing that we're doing for a kid. It's necessary in their treatment, and it's a part of their treatment. And so this particular wish, it was a little boy named, or not a little boy, he was 16. His name was Parker, and he wanted his car redone. So he had a car. He wanted, all the things that a teenage boy wants, all the tires and radio and paint and all of that fun stuff.
Wanted to pimp my ride.
Pimp my ride, exactly.
Well, dating ourselves to that one. That show was must-see TV for a minute, right?
And so he decided he had 3 surgeries coming up, and he wanted to wait until after the 3 surgeries were behind him to start on the wish. He was going to start planning it, but he didn't want the car done until after. And the doctor came to us after that wish, and he said, I will refer every kid to you. He said he came out of anesthesia before he was even coherent. He said, do I get my wish now? And the doctor fully believes that that's what got him through those 3 surgeries.
That's
and
powerful.
So it wasn't the wish itself, it was what it meant to him.
I think we talked about that with Terry about, there's really science that backs that, right? Yeah. Having that something to look forward to. She actually called it something. I can't remember what it was, but there's a term for it. And, it shows in that story that that's like, all they're thinking about for quite a while, and gives them that, little inkling of hope to look forward. So that's amazing. What about you, Emily?
What was the car though?
Oh yeah.
It was a BMW that he had saved up. I think his parents matched what he saved, and he bought it, and he was so proud of it, but he wanted everything redone.
Yeah, I think probably needed a lot of work.
BMWs, yeah. What about you, Emily?
But yeah, I've been fortunate enough to at least go on a few wishes so far. And then just like Taylor said, one that actually wasn't the wish, but it was a pre-wish. Sometimes we do like a wish send-off celebration, we call it.
Sure.
So it was for a little boy from Lakewood Ranch, and I don't want to cry, but he's okay. But so his story, he has a brain tumor, and just the pictures from before and after. I think seeing him for the first time was very shocking, but it was amazing. We did the send-off party. He didn't know he loved Mario and Luigi specifically. So his mom and Make-A-Wish, we organized a send-off party. All his friends, family, and there was like 50 people there at the house. He didn't know it was going to happen. His dad rolled him in the wheelchair, and there was like music playing, like his favorite song. Wow. And we all like dancing to it. And then revealed that he was going to Epic Universe. So it was just seeing everyone there supporting him, and then just like the look on his face, and just knowing everyone was there to support him. It just, and his mom had me speak, but I couldn't because I was crying. So I had sunglasses at least, and I like put them on, and I was like, oh no, you can tell him about his wish. But yeah, it's just, it hits you. Yeah. Like it really does.
I mean, I just read the story aloud that you guys shared via email to the company when we announced it, and I was getting choked up. Yeah. So I can imagine being present in that moment is an extreme wave of emotions. We talked about how it's giving them something to look forward to, and some of the amazing wishes that have been granted. But I think it will do the event some justice if we could tie kind of like what if you guys meet your goals, if we meet the goals with this Walk for Wishes, like what does that do? Like how many wishes are going to be able to be granted? And obviously we can't be specific, but like, I think there's a goal in place for this event, and I think it's cool to talk about what, if this goal is met, this is what we can accomplish with that.
So in this area, the average cost of a wish is $10,000, give or take, depending on the wish. Obviously, some are significantly more and some are less, and a lot of that depends on our partnerships and all of that. But with the average cost of a wish being $10,000, basically every $10,000 increment that we raise for this event is another wish kid that's going to have their wish granted. And some of those wish kids will be there because we invite all the kids that we are what we call in our pipeline that we're working on their wish, and they could be in any stage of the process. So sometimes it's that it's scheduled and they're waiting, and sometimes it's that they're still trying to what we call design their wish, and what does that look like to them. And that's because even something like a Disney wish, that's different for each kid. And so we're designing it to fit exactly what a Disney wish looks like to that specific child. And so they'll be there that day, and they'll be out there walking with us, and to know that, as we're crossing the finish line and trying to hit 3.1 or just doing a quick loop, what that means to them, what that means to them is significantly different than what it means to us.
Sure. And just to give an idea, how many wish families would you expect to be there from the area?
Oh, that's a good question. We have several that we've put right now. I think we have like 10 signed up, and then they'll just continue to sign up. Wow. But our pipeline obviously just keeps growing.
How long does it generally take from getting into the pipeline to granting the wish, and what is that based on?
Yeah, it truly depends on the wish and the family. So a lot of families will want to wait until post-treatment to go on the wish, depending on what the wish is, or they have to wait. So sometimes we'll have like a Super Bowl, and they have to wait for that to come before they can go on that wish. And so it truly depends on the family. Something like a Disney wish we can knock out in a week if we need to. But a lot of them, these kids are missing a lot of school, and parents are missing a lot of work and all of that. So sometimes it's waiting until the summer months. Summer is, as you can imagine, crazy for us in the wish granting department because a lot of the families want to travel at that time. So and if we have what we call a rush wish, where the wish needs to happen right away, we can make that happen. So it depends on a lot of different factors, but we will move as fast as we can. It's really up to the family.
Amongst the boys, how many of the wishes are centered around sports?
I don't know an exact number.
Ballpark it.
But I will say our chapter has the most professional sports teams in our region. So we have 7 professional sports teams within our chapter. So we have a lot of wish kids that are coming here to have their wishes granted because we have so many.
Lightning.
Messi's now here. So that was a very popular wish. So a lot of wishes are happening in our territory that are sports related.
Messi was a popular wish?
Yeah, it's been huge.
Oh, come on. It's messy.
Yeah, but I mean, soccer in the United States,
it's becoming a lot more popular.
It is, but we've been saying that for 30 years.
Yeah.
We just
saying. And eventually it's going to be true. You say something for 30 years, eventually it'll come true, right?
I'm not holding my breath anymore. I've been saying this for a long time.
The whole process is interesting, and I can imagine there's, somewhat of a system in place for guiding this process. Of course, you want it to be, their wish, right? But I can imagine, if you were to just put me in that seat right now and say, what would you wish for? It's like, I don't, it's not something you're always thinking about, or maybe sometimes they are, but I can imagine it's not always like that. So how do you assist that process? What's the process kind of look like?
Yeah, so we have volunteer wish granters who are trained. They go through a training to work with the families and find out what their wish is, really work with the child. And they're trained to make sure that they're working directly with the child, that mom and dad aren't influencing or siblings aren't influencing. The family will all participate in the wish, but we want to make sure it's the child's wish. So we have 4 categories of wishes, and that's to go, to be, to meet, and to have. And so we have them think big in all 4 of those areas. What's 3 things you would want to do in each of those areas? And then we just slowly narrow it down, and you start to see, what is going to be that number 1 wish. Sometimes you walk in the door and you know right away when they're in their princess gowns what the wish is going to be. But we really work with them to think outside of the box and think, not just if you can go on a shopping spree at Walmart, which we've had, and we get them to think bigger and dream bigger. So we're really trying to take the kids out of their little circle that they're in and think big about something that
experience something outside the box.
Yeah.
So that process is how you make sure that 16-year-old's BMW wasn't really dad's that needed some work.
Yeah. It was very clear in the interview. I was the wish granter on that one, and it was very clear that this was his wish. He had very specifics on that car.
Interesting.
Hey, we're really enjoying getting to know all about the Walk for Wishes event and the people behind the scenes making it happen. If you want to know a little bit more about Taylor and Emily, stay tuned for rapid fire questions fueled by food and beer.
I'm Taylor Marini, Regional Director for Make-A-Wish Southern Florida.
And I'm Emily Rickerson, Community Engagement Coordinator for Make-A-Wish Southern Florida.
And this is Rapid Fire.
10 random questions, 10 specific answers, nothing off limit. This is Rapid Fire, fueled by food and beer. Do you call it soda, pop, or cola?
Soda.
Neither, but I would call it soda.
In Florida, we call soda.
Whitewater rafting or mountain climbing?
I've done whitewater rafting, and it was equally thrilling and terrifying, but I think I would try it again over hiking in a mountain.
I would do rafting as well. I've been hiking with my best friends in Tahoe, and I'm like, always the last one. And they're like, we're almost there, Emily, we're almost there. We weren't. How rude. They lied to me. So rafting.
Did you ever name your car? And calling it a POS doesn't count.
My whole family does, and I haven't had a perfect name, so I have not.
Mine's Penny, because she's like copper, so like a penny. It's a Nissan Aria.
Who's the greatest villain in either TV or film?
You go first.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the great white shark from Jaws.
I don't watch anything, so I don't have an answer for that. Does the Grinch count?
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
If you weren't in your current occupation, what other line of work would you be in?
Well, I would want to be a stay-at-home mom, but probably working in sports.
We like sports and we don't care who knows. From shooting hoops to the Super Bowl.
I work part-time in sports, so maybe full-time in sports.
Ditto the stay-at-home mom, but I would be in some kind of advocating for foster care.
What's your favorite candy bar?
I know yours.
You do?
Is it Reese's?
Yeah! Mine would definitely be Reese's, preferably the big cup.
I'm just gonna go with Twix, but I like all candy.
Whether it's Creed or Debbie Gibson, what's your favorite karaoke song?
Well, since it's episode 113, I'll do a shout out to T Swift. Maybe do Ready for It.
Shania Twain, I Feel Like a Woman.
In a zombie apocalypse, what's your weapon of choice?
A bazooka?
An axe.
Do you prefer your donuts with filling or without?
I'm going to go without.
Without.
Yeah, without.
Besides eating 4 Big Mix in a half hour, what Guinness Book of World Record do you think you could break?
Maybe like the most napping hours.
I'm just a big toasty cinnamon bun. I never want to leave this bed.
Longest sleep.
The longest nap.
To live the longest.
I'm gonna live forever.
You know, during the break, you mentioned that the wishes kind of changed around COVID. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously during COVID, we weren't sending kids to Disney or on international travel trips just to keep them safe. And so the wishes did shift during that time. So we were seeing a lot more of backyard playgrounds, golf carts, boats, campers, things like that that they could use during that time during COVID. And so they definitely shifted. And then now we have opened up cruises and international travel again. And so we have an influx of those wishes that have been on hold. We allowed kids to wait for their wish if they wanted to wait until they could travel again. And several of them did. And so now we're in the process of granting those wishes.
So is it fair to say Disney is the number one wish?
Yes.
Yeah. So if Disney's number one, what would, like the number 2, number 3 be?
Yeah, in our region, we see a lot of Hawaii wishes. So yeah, I would say Disney number 1, Hawaii, or just travel.
Maybe Moana's
a lot of cruises.
driving that.
Moana, there are a lot of Moana fans.
Is that a child's film?
I mean, it's an adult film too. You should watch it. It's good. Moana's a great movie.
It is pretty good.
And Moana 2 is great too. You should go watch them both. Have a enjoyable, wholesome Saturday night watching Moana.
We talked a bit about the importance of the partners, and I think Brad had mentioned, some of the wishes are probably expensive, but some of the other ones, because of good partnerships, are even probably free or very low cost. How does that play out?
Yeah, our partnerships are crucial to what we do. Everything from the airlines that we work with for travel, Disney, of course, but on a local basis, we're granting about 600 wishes a year for kids that live in our territory. Wow. That we're sending on wishes, or the wishes are happening locally. But we also grant 250 wishes a year of kids that are coming to our territory. I mean, think of someone in Michigan and Vermont that want to come to the beach. Yeah. And so we did a Siesta Key wish of a kid that wanted to build a sandcastle, and that was his wish. And we worked with local sandcastle artists, local hotels, and local restaurants to build this perfect wish for them. And that's all because of our partnerships within the community, our advisory boards, our volunteers. And so those wishes were able to plan, and we're able to reduce the cost of those wishes because of our partnerships.
It's not the most fair trade to be working with the Michigan and Wyoming chapters to send here, because we're not sending anyone there, I can imagine.
Maybe as a matter of fact, we get a lot of wishes to see snow.
Okay. Yeah. I can imagine.
Or what about like the national parks or something like that, I would think?
We just had one. Yeah. A little boy named Lucas went to national parks. So we saw all his photos. It was really cute.
We talked about kind of the most heartfelt, and we're staying on this. I mean, the organization is called Make-A-Wish, right? So we're staying on these wishes. I think there's a lot of inspiring stories behind them. So not to continue to beat on that drum, but it is kind of the most important thing that you guys do, right? So we talked about the most heartfelt wish and the most meaningful for you. But what has been kind of the most challenging? And you can't say the Pope because we've already talked about that with Terry. But what was the most challenging? Like, oh boy, I don't know how we're going to make this happen. I know we will, but we got some work to do.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I mean, any wish that's, I would say, out of the ordinary for us. So not like a travel wish where we're booking flights and all of that, but those creative wishes. So I worked on one that was, I wish to be a singer. And so that's just completely open to the wish child's imagination, our imagination, and we were able to pull together this incredible wish that we were able to bring the community out into. But it was a lot of moving parts, and you don't realize what goes into something like that until you're working on it. But we needed a full-blown audience for when she got out of the limo and was walking into the theater where she was going to perform. So we had to get hundreds of people from the community to come be paparazzi, and we had security guards lifeguards that we hired to walk her into the venue. And then we needed performers to open for her. We needed a backstage hair and makeup. She wanted her own merch. And so you think about putting on a concert. We were fully putting on a concert for a Wish.
Wow.
Where was it hosted?
This one was in Southwest Florida. So it was in Naples, but it was one of those that like you really truly bring the whole community together to make that happen. We had florists sending flowers to her dressing room. And I mean, just every little detail that you can't even imagine until you get into the planning of that wish. So it was like, I wish to be a singer. And we're like, okay. And then you start playing and it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you mentioned something earlier, their perfect wish come true, right? So like you're taking it to that next level, thinking big, and you could take a child to the beach and they could make a pretty average sandcastle, and it could be like, I think a lot of people would still be very grateful for that, right? You could put 10 people in a room, just their family in a room, and give them a microphone, and this is you're making that wish come true, but you're really taking it to that perfect wish, which is what I find kind of amazing. And 600 wishes a year seems like, I mean, that's almost 2 a day, right? So
every 16 hours we're granting a wish.
16 minutes? What?
16 hours.
Oh my goodness. And so you mentioned the Naples chapter, and I know you Michigan and working with, how does that work? Like how often are you working with other chapters to make these wishes come true, even from like a logistical standpoint? Like, hey, we need more manpower. And our local chapter just can't support all of it. Is that what's happening, or how does that work?
We have what we call a wish assist program. So anytime a child's wish is going to take place outside of our territory, we work with the chapter where that wish is taking place. And that's because you're the expert on your area. We're the expert in Sarasota. If a wish child's coming to Sarasota, they call us. We know who our vendors are. We know the perfect beach for them to go to, all of those things. So when we send a child to New York City, we rely on the New York City or the New York chapter to put that together. They know where to stay, where to go, how to handle the transportation. And so it's really anytime a wish is taking place outside of our territory. And then for us, anytime a wish is taking place in our territory, we are planning that wish. And like we said, we have 7 major sports teams in our territory. So we're doing a lot of sports related wishes. Taylor Swift comes to Miami. We did a lot of Taylor Swift wishes, and those are just all wishes that are taking place in our territory.
The territory is the whole state?
The southern half of Florida.
Southern half of Florida. Okay. So Hawaii must stay really busy based on that definition, right?
So you have international chapters?
We do. And that was the reason that we didn't open up international wishes right away after COVID, was because we rely on those international chapters and they weren't fully up and running yet. So we were ready to go, but they were not. And we obviously rely on them for sure to plan those wishes.
I mean, it's a huge organization. Everybody's heard of Make-A-Wish. Do you have any numbers, how many people are involved with Make-A-Wish nationally, internationally even?
As far as number of wishes?
Number of volunteers, number of, people involved in the organization.
I don't know that number nationally, but we have 700 plus volunteers just in our chapter.
Oh, wow.
So just in Southern Florida, and here in Sarasota, we really need about 150 plus wish granters working on wishes.
Or you have them?
We need more.
If there's a need, let's tell the people now, right?
We always need more. Yeah. We always need bilingual wish granters. Yep. That's always a need, especially in this area. And these wish granters are the volunteers who are working directly with the families. You are the liaison between Make-A-Wish and the Wish family. You're going into their homes, you're meeting with them, you're keeping them excited about their wish and finding out what their wish is, and then working with our team to coordinate and make that happen.
Well, typically, we have, maybe a restaurateur on, or, somebody that has something to kind of offer. We're like, hey, what would the pitch be? You've got an audience. Let's talk about what this looks like for, why would somebody come to your restaurant? Why would somebody come to your business or use your services? In this case, what does it look like for somebody to get involved? You mentioned there's training and stuff, but let's walk through like, hey, I want to get involved as a wish granter. First step. What expectations? How much capacity do I have to have? That kind of thing, because I think there's definitely people that would want to get involved.
Yeah. So our wish granters go through a training. So it's a training to really make sure that they're finding out what the child's wish is. The full family will partake in that wish, but we want to make sure that it's the child's heartfelt wish. And so they're trained. They go through a half-day training with our team to go through that process. Of course, there's also paperwork that needs to be done and all of that. So they learn all about that. And then they will work with a veteran wish granter for a couple wishes just to make sure that they know how the process works. And then they go through and they're the ones meeting a family. So we'll say, okay, we have Sarah, 6 years old. She's ready to be interviewed. And then they sign up. They go meet with the family. Our wish granters always work in pairs. And so they go out, meet with the family and work with them to find out what their wish is and then work with us. And then, like we said, sometimes those wishes are a year in the making. So they're just continuing to keep that child excited. If it's, a Disney wish, maybe it's sending them Mickey ears 1 month and an autograph book the next month just to keep them excited about their wish.
Can volunteers come to you as a pair, like who want to work together?
Absolutely.
Like a husband and wife or something? Okay.
Two is better than one, right?
No, but I think that's a good distinction because there's a lot of couples or, people who are looking for volunteer opportunities they can do together.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work that way.
What about child volunteers? Do you guys work? I mean, obviously not as like a solo wish granter, and there would have to be some parental, But is there children, younger people involved?
They have to be 21 to be a wish granter.
Okay.
However, we do have a Kids for Wish Kids program and a youth leadership committee. And so those programs are where we can get kids involved with Make-A-Wish, but not necessarily interviewing the wish kids and all of that. But they can get involved in ways of hosting a send-off party. So we have a lot of schools that will host a wish reveal. We had a school that did a wish week for us and raised enough money to grant a wish. And it was actually a Shaquille O'Neal wish. And so they brought everyone into their basketball, the basketball court at their school. They brought everyone in, the whole school. They were all dressed in a certain color, the wish kid's favorite color. And they told the child at that event that the wish was coming true.
Oh, wow.
And so we got to involve the entire school. All 600 plus kids got to hear about Make-A-Wish, see it in action. And so we always encourage schools and wish kids to do fundraisers. We have lemonade stands. We have kids that say, instead of birthday presents, donate to Make-A-Wish, all the things.
Yeah, I mean, as someone with kids, there's so much value in getting them involved in these types of things early on. So, I mean, not a surprise that you have something for them. I want to talk about the flip side of this as a, wish family or a potential, I can imagine there's, individuals out there that don't realize that this may be there for them, or, maybe not in a position or not wanting to reach out or not feeling like they want to ask somebody else. I can relate. I think we can all relate with that kind of a feeling, but how do they, make contact with you or how does that work?
Yeah.
And that's a big misconception with some families is that it's for terminally ill children and it's not, it's for critically ill children. So that was always kind of a thing in the past that was always holding families back to actually getting their child a wish. So, but we have partnerships with the hospitals. We have medical outreach teams that kind of go and connect. But anyone who knows of a child with a critical illness, just if they talk to their family or their medical provider, they can go online and basically it's just the process. They just submit them online and they can kind of go through
and a critical illness would be, so terminally ill, understand that obviously. Right. Critical illness would be, what are some examples of that?
We have kids that will have cancer, but it's not terminal. We have everything from heart defect. We have cystic fibrosis. We have a lot of different diagnoses, and the process for that is we're not doctors. We don't understand a lot of these illnesses and whether they would be considered life-threatening or not. And so we have a full team of medical professionals that work to say, yes, this qualifies or no.
So critical would be life-threatening. That would be a less kind way of saying that.
Yes.
Yeah. I see.
Yeah.
All right. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but you're right. That's a big misconception because when we were coming up, all the commercials we heard about Make-A-Wish was like, Tommy's not going to make it. Call the Make-A-Wish people.
Yeah. And a lot of families, when they first hear that, they don't necessarily want to be referred because then it's them thinking that their child is terminal. Right. And so we really work with the doctors to to help educate them. And a lot of the doctors, the car renovation story is kind of that perfect example. That doctor fully sees now that that's part of the medical process and part of the treatment plan is their wish. And so he was able to talk to future families and say, I'm going to provide the medicine and I'm going to provide the physical part of helping you get better, but Make-A-Wish is going to provide the mental and the hope and the strength.
Yeah. And obviously, having been the doctor that has kind of seen that, they're never going to be the same, right? Absolutely. There's always going to be that component of, this is important for the mental and the, just the overall positive outlook on things. So the organization is doing some amazing things. We're very proud to partner with the Walk for Wishes. Want to just kind of address it one more time. So October 4th, give them the rundown, where to be, how to sign up. And then we'll transition over to some more Sarasota type stuff.
Perfect. So yes, Walk for Wishes, October 4th, Nathan Benderson Park. You can pre-register. We'll throw the link up on the podcast. Maybe.
EW can do that.
Yes. Okay. Because I can't really say the link. It's complicated. But yeah, it's just online. You register. You can form a team, or you can join a team, or you can register as an individual. If you ever have questions, obviously Taylor and I are available. But yeah, just wanted to get the word out. And if anyone knows of any vendors that want to come out or any other sponsors.
What specifically might you be looking for?
Yeah, so any free food samples, different restaurants if you want to get your name out there to come and just do little food samples. Anyone who wants to be a part of the Family Fun Day, we have a bunch of people already. The library is going to come out and do a little pop-up library. Nice. We have the Bucks coming out, the Rays mascot. We have Texas Roadhouse that's coming out. So we have a few, but yeah, if anyone else wants to get involved with that, definitely.
You got Kona Ice. You got to get some ice.
We just talked about it today.
We did reach out.
Some sort of icy
I know, yes.
Right?
But any other companies along those lines, and especially with this being our first ever Walk for Wishes, we do have a committee, and we really rely on the committee for ideas, talking about running clubs, those types of things. Brad is sitting on our committee, and so he's sharing ideas.
Hopefully, haven't missed any meetings.
You have been doing great.
100% attendance.
Yes. One of the great things about this podcast is we've had a lot of guests who are kind of in that space, who are in a position to give. And those are the kind of people we can reach out to since we have that relationship now. So
yeah,
I'll rely on Brad to do that.
I'll do what I can, but I want to piggyback on something they said about joining a team, right? So if you do sign up, you can join Signature Medicare. I'll post my link as well, so you can join the team. That's obviously one of our biggest strategies is don't just get people to donate, get them to register and drive more donations. So I had an interesting story. One of my friends actually reached out to me. He got invited through the American Cancer Society to do the marathon in London Marathon. It's very, very difficult to get into. There's a couple million people that apply, I guess. And, you can either get in through an insane time, which he didn't have. You can get in through recommendation or something or through a charity. And so he worked with the American Cancer Society and, is going on that London Marathon trip and is raising funds for the American Cancer Society. So he reached out to me. Would you consider, donating? And I said, absolutely, but you have to return the favor for me. So, if anybody has any ideas on other ways to raise money, we're all for it. Join the team and approach me. We'll be happy to talk with you about how we can hit our goal. I think we've got a goal of $20,000, which sounds like it's two wishes. So that would be amazing to do. We don't have that much long. I mean, October 4th coming right around the corner, as I'm sure you're very aware. Full planning, wall granting wishes as well. So very, very appreciative for what you ladies are doing. We're going to transition over to some Sarasota type stuff. I'm sure you've maybe seen some of these segments, but I'll leave it to Trey to ask you the famous question.
Tom and Interlaw and Trey Martell want to know, what are your feelings on roundabouts? Do you love them or do you hate them?
Make them stop.
Make them stop
they're
lights.
supposed to keep going.
Stop building them. I just don't understand it.
Well,
have you had any bad experiences?
I mean, every time you come up on one, I feel like it's a bad experience. No one knows what they're doing. No one knows how to work it. Everyone stops when they're not supposed to stop. I can't I can't imagine sitting in a meeting and saying, this is a good idea. Let's do that.
we love strong opinions on roundabouts, so that's a great answer.
What you got?
I
What
don't
are your
have a
feelings?
strong opinion. I feel like they're fine if there's no cars on them.
we like conflicting opinions too. That's always good, right?
I love them so much.
That's a great street, except when there's cars on it. I kind of feel you there.
I mean, I think the roundabouts would be a blast if the roads were open and no cars were on it, right? They'd be fun. But
Be like the St. Pete Grand Prix
crazy.
or something, you know. with close streets.
Did you see the most recent? Jesse posted a video on the one that we just passed. That was back there. Someone went around the roundabout and like ran down a biker. Like the biker was in the lane and came around the roundabout and just plowed the biker over. Hopefully the biker's okay, but.
Some of those bikers take some liberties.
Yeah.
Well, he was in the bike lane and whoever was approaching, which was crazy to me. All the
Was
comments.
it on purpose?
Well, you never know. But all the comments were like, that person was clearly on their phone. I'm thinking, that's the last place you want to be on your phone, like approaching a roundabout. That's an issue. Yeah, Trey, don't be on your phone.
I always preach stay off your phone, specifically when you're approaching a roundabout.
Primarily roundabouts, straightaways, you get it. But
the bike story is bad, but I mean, it's not surprising to me because Florida is the #1 pedestrian fatality state in the country. Right.
Our bicycles,
yes,
pedestrians,
kind of, or
they gotta float back.
We don't fact check on this podcast. But, feel free to discuss it in the comments. People get hit on bikes.
Can't you get a DUI on a bicycle?
You can get a lot of problems on a bicycle.
Can't get a DUI when you're walking.
That's debatable.
Can we bring a bicycle for Trey to the Walk for Wishes? Can he ride the 5K?
Ride for wishes.
Can we give him an electric skateboard?
We have kids on scooters.
Yep.
We have strollers. We have wagons.
Let's
we
give
have
Trey
it all.
roller skates.
Oh, yeah.
How about roller
Horse.
skates?
Yeah, look cool on a horse. Horse.
Have you ever been on a horse?
Yes.
I'm not talking about the one where the guy holds the rope and walks you around.
Dominican Republic. On a horse trail.
Okay. Well,
scary.
we loved having you on and learning a ton about the Walk for Wishes. It's the first ever. Surely it won't be the last. I think it's going to be a huge success, and we're really just getting started. I want to pass it to Felipe in a second, but we didn't talk about the specific sponsorships you're looking for, and we do want to put this out to our audience as well as our previous guests, who I think some of them are in a great position to get involved. So specifically, what are the sponsorship levels that we need to fill to make this thing go off successfully?
Yeah. So our presenting sponsor sold out quick.
Yes.
We do have a Family Fun Day sponsorship available, and that is at the $8,000 level.
Okay.
We have a strength sponsor, which is $2,000, and then our lowest level is $500. But you don't get a table at the event, so you want to bump it up to the $2,000 so you get a table. And then we have a $6,000
What's the name of the $2,000 one?
Strength sponsor. It looks, it's similar.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
I think you sold one.
I'll have to run it by my people.
How many strength sponsors are there?
As many as one. Yeah.
Well, there's only one strong.
But there's only
sponsor.
one. Yeah.
We can rename it if you're interested.
Strength, strong, it's the same thing. There you go.
Yeah.
You got your checkbook?
In my truck.
I think it'd be really cool to do it live.
Oh, yeah.
Commit.
I got to run it by my people first.
All right. Well, that leaves you, Felipe. Take us home.
So you've been on Sarasota SpeaX podcast. You see what we do here. Thank you for coming and thank you for doing what you do. Who do you know who we may not know, who Sarasota needs to know? Who can we invite on Sarasota SpeaX next that you can recommend?
By the way, he's so good at that because he doesn't change the script. Right?
Actually, I change it every single time.
Okay.
It's very small nuances.
Ooh, put the claws away, gentlemen.
Very small changes. Incremental.
I love it.
So I'll say for me, I'm personally involved in the foster care realm, especially here in Sarasota and Manatee County. So a couple organizations, the Safe Children's Coalition and All Star Children's Foundation are great organizations that are in the foster care world. And so for me, that would be one that I think we need to get out here in the community.
Write those down, Trey.
Yeah, those are good ones. And we're also part of Manatee Chamber and Sarasota Chamber. So really the heads of the chambers are always good, or Lakewood Ranch.
We actually haven't had Sarasota Chamber on yet. We could have like Ed.
Oh, Ed's part of our
And
committee.
Ed's part of the walk committee.
Well, yes, I remember seeing
I'm intrigued by the Lakewood Ranch Business Alliance too, because we don't do enough in Lakewood Ranch. We're trying to make sure when we say Sarasota SpeaX, we cover the whole greater Sarasota area, which includes both counties. So there's obviously a lot going on in Lakewood Ranch, especially with the business community there. So it'd be pretty cool to have some representation.
Yeah.
Great recommendations. I think we got 4 out of 2, so that's awesome. Thank you so much. Well, thanks for having us on, or thanks for coming on. Thanks for having us as a sponsor for Walk for Wishes. We're very excited, and hopefully we get the word, continue to get the word out, and we'll fill those sponsorships. We did fill one today, so successful. All right, thank you.
There's a very good chance.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.